Hi everyone, today we're talking about the power of public relations, particularly when building a brand. So public relations, also referred to as PR, is creating a buzz around your organization using press. And so there's a couple of ways to go about doing this, and I'm going to go over some of these. And the first thing that is really simple to do is putting out press releases. This is a way to get in front of members of the press because they often subscribe to feeds that have this information listed on that. So you'll see a couple of big houses that, and when I say houses, they're organizations that publish these releases. And so they'll subscribe to them to get the information of the day. There's usually a lot of press releases that are published every single day, and to go through them is a way to pick up what's most newsworthy that moment. And then the press, what they do is they curate that and they decide what topic they're going to cover, and then will either reach out to the organization to get more information or some unique story about that piece of news, and then they publish it in their whatever publication they're associated with. These press releases are typically originated from the organization that is publishing them. There's someone that's been involved in writing them and getting them edited and approved, and then it's submitted through these publication houses to then be put out on the wire. And the wire is the subscription service that the members of the press are receiving. So that's an easy one for your organization to do. There are lots of publications that are not overly expensive and that are the right price for a startup, especially if you have limited budget and resources to publish these. You can get them as low as $99, although you get what you pay for with those. There's others that are very, very good at the $300 to $500 level, and then you can pay for the premium ones that cost upwards of thousands of dollars. And it really depends on what your how you're publishing it across regions and industries and channels and what that reach looks like. But anyway, that's one mechanism of PR. The other one is to establish relationships with members of the press. And the one thing that I love about this process is that you really get to know the reporter on a different level. You get to know what their particular interests are, how they like to write. Making yourself a trustworthy and newsworthy source for them is invaluable, because especially as a startup, because you're on the cusp of evolving technology. Your solution is likely something that is very different from how competitors have been doing it before. You're on the path to differentiate yourself in the market. And so having the ability to get in on the ground floor of this change in the market is really exciting to the members of the press, and they want to write about that. They always want something that's newsworthy, that's going to perk up the ears of their readers, and that they're going to get something valuable out of it. So the more that you can engage with members of the press and create relationships with key members that are covering your target audience, the better it's going to be in relationship wise for the both of you. To start doing this, you can do your research, figure out what publications are your target audience referencing on a regular basis. Where do they get their information? And to do that, you can ask prospective clients, who are you paying attention to? You can ask partner communities. You can ask your colleagues in other corporations, where are they getting their information? Or you can also look at what is the subject matter of the publication and what do they cover? Do they cover technology that you're focused on or markets that you're focused on? Then identify the reporters that are covering those stories that go into those publications. And then foster a relationship with them. Send them pieces of information. Send them your press release directly. Send them any news bit that they might find that they can turn a story into. Those are all good things to do. And you don't want to spread this too much. You don't want to engage like 30 or 40 members of the press and send them all the same message. You want to curate what you're sending to each one, because if everyone is receiving the same piece of information, or you're doing just an email blast to see who picks it up, you're not going to be building trust with them. And at the end of the day, that's what's important in a relationship, is building a trust factor with them, that they can depend on you, that you're giving them something that they need and that their audience wants. So then when you're working the press, it's much easier to get your information out there. So those are two things that I really suggest doing, is curating your information and using press releases. The other thing that I would recommend your team engage in is media training. If you are going to be engaging in a press strategy and you're going to be putting news out there, it's likely that members of the press will want to interview you to get a little bit more information about the story so that they can build something that's newsworthy. So media training enables you to learn more about how to engage with the press, or it also translates into speaking on stage and being comfortable. It's a way to learn more about public speaking, and so it will teach you not only how to speak at a certain cadence or articulate your messages more clearly and what to focus on in those conversations, but it will also give you the training to deal with any, the questions that come out of nowhere and then you don't know how to answer those. People tend to get flustered in those situations, and it can come across as untrustworthy or that you're trying to hide something. So with media training, they'll teach you how to calm your nerves, how to stay cool, how to answer certain questions, how to be either vague when you need to be or crisp and concise when you need to do that. So when you look at those 3 tips, those are all things that will set you up for success, and then you can build on them, but they are a good foundation. So find out who is covering your area and create relationships with them, get media training, and then put your news out on the wire, because that will get the attention of the press that you want to engage with. If you have any questions, drop me a line at rosalear.com or send me a text over LinkedIn. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Bye-bye.